Well, good evening. How are you all doing? I hope you are doing well. Well, I know I was extremely slack on showing any progress on the Camaro project, but there's just a lot going on here. I'm still dealing with some health issues that I'm working through, and then there's a lot of other life situations that go on. Lost a couple good friends, family stuff going on, and not to mention just hard getting parts with COVID and all the restrictions. We're on lockdown here. You can't go anywhere, get anything. So it's just been real rough. And I just plugged away at it here and there. But if you've seen the couple clips I posted this afternoon, it's running. Basically, the car is done. I just finished putting I took the 850 Holly off and that I had on the dyno, and I put my old faithful 750 Demon on it. The 850 is just still causing me issues. On idle, I can't get it to idle. It's stumbling. I'm pretty sure it's a fuel delivery problem on the idle circuit, but I can't dismiss a vacuum leak somewhere. So we're going to try the 750, and then after that I'll change spacers to see if there's like a warp or something wrong with the 4-hole spacer causing a vacuum leak. But I mean, nothing's easy. Went to change and put my Demon on, and of course nothing's the same. I had to change my bowl fittings, and then I had to root around and try and find the bowl fitting gaskets, because of course the Demon are a lot smaller, whereas the Holly are 7/8. But we got it. As you've seen in a couple of clips, it sounds real good. It's real good and crisp, and works good off of idle. Throttle response is real good, but it stumbles and it's missing on idle, and it's all over the place. And once it comes off the idle circuit, it's fine. So I don't think it's an ignition or fire problem. So hopefully tomorrow we'll get that all sorted out. But as I was saying, the car is pretty much done. I really wish I would have took more video of finishing it, but the painless wiring harness is all done. I had to call in some help with that because wiring this sort of stuff just isn't my thing. So we got an auxiliary fuse and fuse panel up here to run the electric water pump, and it has a relay station too, relay board, and that stuff all runs the electric water pump, the fuel pump, the fan, the electric vacuum pump, and all that stuff. I have a switch panel inside for all them accessories that I can. They'll all come on with the ignition key, but then I can also override the relay with a toggle switch. So in the pits or out cruising and I'm stuck in traffic, can shut the car off and just run the water pump and the fan by overriding the relay. It turned out pretty good. I got the MSD Digital 2 over there on the inner fender. I had to get a new sticker made from my decal person, because to mount it upside down so you could get at the plugs here on the top for the 2-step and the high limit rev limiters, because just want to have to take that off every time to adjust them. And the interior is all back in it. I mean, the interior needs a little bit of work. It's all It's all original interior into it, so it's not the best, but I mean, for being original in '68, it's not bad. Got the B&M pistol grip shifter in it. There's the shift plate that I made many videos ago, and I said I was going to get my decal person to make some wood grain. So got that done, and she also made the wood grain decal to match up there on the dash. I got all my odometer gauges in. I still have to mount my odometer monster tack, shift light, and the low oil pressure light over on the A-pillar. There's just not enough room here on top of the dash pad, but it'll go over there on the A-pillar. But other than that, she's we could be out cruising, going for coffee tonight, but it's insured, registered. The only thing stopping us is, well, for some reason there's like no tread on them tires. Don't know what happened there. And there's no exhaust onto it. It's just open headers. And that's just asking for trouble. So better off just leaving it here, and it'll take a little bit of time to afford a good exhaust. I'm having a friend of mine has exhaust shop, a muffler shop, and he builds custom exhausts. So instead of just putting some cheap Jegs or Summit or some other cheap brand on it, we're going to custom bend all the pipes. I'm unsure if I'm going to put an H pipe or an X pipe in it, but I do know it will have Flowmaster Super 44s on it. That's the tone, that's the sound I really like. So other than that, it's going to be a custom bent 3-inch. I don't think it's going to be stainless. I think I'm going to go with steel, and then I'm going to have it ceramic coated silver to match the headers, and that's way it won't rust or tarnish or anything like that. But hopefully we'll get it on the road soon. But we were supposed to be going racing a couple weeks ago. The end of May was our first race weekend. I wasn't going to make that, I knew that. But with all the COVID restrictions, we are only allowed to have outdoor gathering of 75 people. So, 75 cars. And then 150 people in total, so it will be 75 cars, 2 people, 1 crew member and 1 driver. And there was going to be no classes. So normally we have pro, super pro, sportsman, which is just a street class more or less, bike and sled, and juniors. And then we have gamblers races on Saturdays. But with the low car count being cut down to a maximum of 75, all we were going to have is just a gambler's race. And the entry fees were going to be astronomical to cover expenses, the insurance for the track, etc., etc. So with all them restrictions, and we're all in lockdown right now, so we had to cancel the one a couple weeks ago at the end of May. Then we were supposed to have one the 2nd of July, a month from now, and we just canceled that. So our season opener is going to be the last week of July, and we'll have the car there. I'll have it on the chassis dyno. I'll probably take some video of that and get a tune-up in it, and it's going to be way faster than what I'll be allowed to go. We're going to run in pro. That's what the car will fit in. But the problem is there's no roll bar in the car. and there's not even any 3-point seatbelt because I don't have the shoulder harness yet for a shoulder harness. So it just has lap belts in it, which is kind of scary for the speeds it'll go. But we won't be going wide open. We're going to have to, unfortunately, be doing some sandbagging because without a roll bar, we're only allowed going 1150. Basically, I hate the bench race, but this car will go 1080s to 1110. It won't right now. It needs a lot of suspension work to do that. It has stock front spindles, springs. Actually, I think the springs are heavier than a stock small block spring. So there's going to be no stored energy. It has stock shocks on the front of it. There's just no money in right now to be able to afford to do that stuff. You're looking at even single adjustable shocks just right now, trying to get them, and if you can get them, the price of them is just astronomical. Same as the rear. It has like 25-year-old slapper bars on the back of it with a stock 5-leaf pack in there. So, I mean, that's going to take a lot of work to get that to work the way it is. The only thing and it also has a stock shock in the back. I'm going to have to try and work a way to get some money out to get some adjustable rear shocks because it's just not going to hook that way. I think if I get at least a single adjustable, I'll be able to do something with it at the track until I get some Cal tracks and stuff like that. But the only thing that's going to help right now is, for right now, I'm going to leave the 373 gear in it. So that should help me a lot in 60 foot. It's going to hurt the top end because the motor's not going to be anywhere near its power band going through the stripe. With that 373 gear, it may be, if I'm lucky, maybe 69. The motor on the dyno, it stopped making power at, I'd have to look at the dyno sheet, but it was either 75 or 7600. And so we'll be shifting that right around 78. And it should be going through the line around 82. But it's not going to do that right now. I got a brand new set of 456 gear Richmond gears there, but I'm just worried without the suspension work that I'm not going to be able to hook them 456s. But anyway, I just thought I'd do a little quick update. Someday when I get it back over in this bay, I'll do a much better video. I've been working at it over there because it wasn't really mobile, and it's a heavy car. It's 3,200 pounds, and pushing that around alone is a lot of work. And we've been working in this bay doing daily driver stuff. Tomorrow we got to put front struts on my niece's car, so we got to keep this bay pretty much open. And my brother has a tire changing business, and we use this bay, and he has his tire changers in the back room and his balancer, and we also do some detail on cars out of this bay. So anyway, if I get it out tomorrow and get it running, maybe I'll put a GoPro in it or something and do some subdivision drives and see how that 750 carburetor works. Anyway, I'll do a much better, try and do a much better job of updates and keep you up to date what's going on. Anyway, we'll talk to you all later. See ya.